Hey guys, and welcome back to Drunk Commentary. Usually I do these episodes right after each other, but I was struggling to get the next episode loaded because of my ability to use technology more than anything else. But in the meantime, I'm up to drink number 5, so that's exciting. So last time we left off with Luther getting knocked out because he sucks. The protest not going well, and Allison's husband leaving her for, fairly illogical reasons. Like, he was about to get murdered, and he complained. Like, who complains someone saves your life? Like, who cares what superpower they use to save your life? Like, you just got your life saved. Like, that seems like the priority here. But, yeah, so there's that, and yeah, I think that's all I can think of off the top of my head. So, we're picking it up here on episode 4, entitled The Majestic 12, and that is a spectacular episode name. I want to think this is going to be like it's not JLA, it's the JSA episode. Like, they're going to find the Justice Society of America, and it's going to be this group of superheroes that came before them, and their father is going to be a member of that group of superheroes, and that's how he knew that. And that would explain the term, why he thought they were going to be the next wave of superheroes, but they failed him, and would explain a lot to his backstory. But once again, just me spitballing theories here. So let's dive into the episode. Episode 4, The Majestic 12. Also, if you guys are watching, thanks for watching Drunk Commentary. I'm hoping you're having fun and drinking responsibly and enjoying this episode. I'm annoyed at myself that took me more than a second to guess. I love this. It's like the same kind of background or childhood story that the Umbrella Academy has. Except she seems to be competent at it, as opposed to the other ones that are kind of just fumbling around with it. Because she absolutely looks like a 25-year-old going to prom. Oh no, that's just her going out in her first assassination. That's sweet. Jack seems like a jerk. Okay, so I just looked up the actor who plays number 5, and his name's Aiden Gallagher, and apparently he is 16 years old. Which is incredibly, that he's just incredibly talented for a 16-year-old. I couldn't be imagined at age 16. But secondly, he is already 5'3", so he is 2 inches taller than Ellen Page. I love this. This is a classic story of the scorpion and the frog. Scorpion's like, the point of the story is you can't escape your nature. You are what you are. I don't know why he told her this story, but that's what the actual point is. It's kind of like, don't go back to dickheads, because dickheads are dickheads and they're not going to change. It's in their nature. I always wonder why TV shows characters show so much apathy. Like, they found this random girl who seems to have weird combat abilities and medical abilities. She has experience doing everything, and she's a little crazy. And no one seems to be even mildly interested to how she can do this stuff. Like, she found out time travel's a thing, and she didn't even hesitate about it. Is her dad gonna be in the photo? I didn't see him in there, but I mean, they did not linger on that for very long. And they definitely didn't linger on it for a deliberate reason, because it's going to be relevant. It has to do with the fact that they did not plan. A lot of TV shows were not, like, it kind of ruins the medium that people can look stuff up now. Because back when everything was just on air and people weren't TiVoing everything, If one scene came up and just flew by, they would assume the audience wouldn't remember it. But now that everyone can pause live television or record live television, then we can always stop and freeze frame these things. So they try their best to not show us what it is, but I mean, they're kind of doomed. I'm trying to open the image on my phone while not spoiling myself, so I can't look at anything, but I want to see if I recognize anyone in it. As far as I can tell, don't really recognize anyone. So, yeah, I'm not sure what he expected. Texas. Ugh. And I say that, and I realize Texas isn't like that now, and it's very much changed. Like San Antonio and Austin are kind of known for being pretty tolerant now, and it's not the same as it used to be, but damn, this is the 60s. I fully agree with Raymond on this one. I understand you're pissed, but you could totally have this conversation outside and not make a scene about it. Dude, just show her your superpower. Show him your superpower. Like, this isn't a random stranger, this is your husband. Like, and it's not like that we think that she isn't willing to tell her husband about her superpower, because she clearly can and has. Like, Patrick, her ex from the future, it's a hard sentence to think of, knew about her superpower, so why can't you just tell her? Tell him, sorry. I've been drinking gas. It's not my fault. I do not like any part of this episode. It's like we did Klaus being drunk and on drugs all of last season. And I really hate when shows just revert characters. It's like I feel like they run out of story for them, and then they're like, well, we had this arc where they go from being, completely flawed and destroyed, and then they, rise up. And we ran out of ideas after that, so next season they're just going to do the same thing again. They're going to, for some reason, become completely flawed again, and then we can do the exact same arc we did last time. I get it. On one hand, it's really boring if the character has no arc. It just keeps on being successful throughout the rest of the show. But it's much better if the characters just keep improving throughout the series. And the only reason why characters shouldn't keep improving throughout the series is if they're already perfect. And Klaus is by no means perfect. He is a very flawed character, and he might have gotten past his drug addiction last season, but he still has so many other parts of his personality to work on. They all do. They're very flawed characters. And I don't see any reason to go back to drinking or drugs. Like, he has things to work on, we can work on them. That's about right. I'm a little annoyed that Allison hasn't told anyone else about Klaus. Because I think Allison is still the only one aware that Klaus is around. I do very much like her character. I am very into not Molly. Do they know her? Is that their mom? Like, not the robot version of their mom, but like the inspiration to their mom? I feel like I'm letting you guys down. I got so many predictions right last season that it's making me nervous for this season. It's like, I feel like I can't say predictions unless I get it right. That absolutely is. So this definitely ties back into Reginald Hargrave's backstory, because at some point she has to be connected to him. Because why else would he build a robot that looks exactly like her? As closed and rude as Reginald Hargraves was, he still built a robot that was designed to nurture and care for the kids. So clearly he did consider that to be important if he was to design an automaton that really cared about doing that. He understood their need for affection. He just, for some reason, was unwilling to give it to them himself. So that's like half a point in his favor, I guess. The show is trying to make me care about a background character related to Vanya, who's the main character, but still very background to the season. It's just layers of background in this. I feel like this wasn't hinted to us at all that she would be able to do this, but I'm okay with it. What? Like, they completely ditched the violin from season 1, and now I have no idea what her powers are. Like, they used to be associated with sound waves, and she could shoot pressure waves, and now, like, I could even somehow understand how pressure waves could push the water back, but how did she bring this guy back to life? I like how the entirety of his possessions included one bag and a lamp. That must be an important damn lamp. They drink a lot in this show. It's hard to find. I'm willing to bet that someone's drinking about 50% of the scenes in this show. What was I just saying about them doing drugs in like every scene? Or drinking? If I'm gonna flaw the show for one thing, it's because they are very formulaic. Like, every episode ends with one of these fights, and like, I don't even know how close we're to the end of the episodes. I'm willing to bet we're in the last 5 to 10 minutes, just based off the fact that this fight is happening. And yeah, I just looked it up. We are definitely in the last 5 to 10 minutes of the episode, and it's so obvious, though. Like, you know, I'm wondering if this season is actually going to answer the question of last season on why their father knew what was going to happen, like that they had to prevent an apocalypse, and it's going to end up being like. But it can't though, because we've established conclusively that them time traveling changes the past. It isn't the past in itself. I was going to say, is it going to end up being that the fact that they were here back then let their father know that they needed to stop the apocalypse? I realized that couldn't possibly make sense because they haven't time traveled yet, and the time travel established in this show says that time travel can actually change the future, which means they are not in the version of the future that they used to be in right now. So we'll see how that plays out. I'm hoping the issue anytime the show has time travel, it's a very sticky thing to fool around with. And anytime you do it, you have to stick rigidly to whatever rules you establish. And right now we've established that time travel does change the future, and it's a tricky problem because if it changes the future a lot, then that could ruin a lot, and it might change the future a small amount. I mean, we'll see how they play it. So far, they've been very smart about everything they've done, so I believe in their ability to manipulate and do this well. But we'll see how they do for the rest of the show, and that will really be a challenge. So I know back in last season, when I was doing drunk commentary, I was looking at the first video right now, the one I've worked through right now, and I get to 4 drinks in that one season premiere, and I don't know how I did it, because I'm definitely not doing that right now. But anyways, we're going to pick back up in episode 5 when we come back, and I'll see you guys then for episode 5. So thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you again later on Drunk Commentary on Constant Review. See you then, guys, and thanks for watching. Love you. Bye.